Hi, everyone, and welcome to Morning Coffee Break. I hope everybody is doing good this morning. It's Sunday, January 28th. Currently, it's 40 degrees. High today is 42. Chance of precipitation, 60%, and winds are at 16 miles per hour, so the winds are picking up. It's a little bit cooler than it has been for a few days. It rained all day yesterday. Not like hard rain, though, just like a steady rain. That's the kind of rain that's really good. It soaks in really good. That way it doesn't just all run off. Yeah. So I guess we may get some more today. Okay, today is Sunday, so we're going to have Logan's Awesome Snack Reviews. I remembered this time. I remembered, so last time I said I was going to do something else, and it was supposed to be his show, and I just forgot. But as far as I know, everything's a go for it. And I don't know what we're having for dinner. Excuse me. I just really didn't plan anything. I've been just working out of the freezers, just looking through them and grabbing stuff. But I still need to make a. Hadn't done the inventory thing yet. I need to do that though. I keep saying that, and I just never get around to it. You know, they're really low, so it's not going to be a whole lot like it was. They were both full there for a long time, but trying to rotate everything out, get everything. I'm putting on a lot of the freezer bags now. I'm putting a date, especially if it's meat like we buy in bulk. Let's say we buy a bunch of boneless chicken breast, and we divide it up into 3 pieces in each, freezer bag. Lots of times I was like, which one is the oldest, So I started getting what do you call them, a marker, a magic marker, and writing the date down, so it's a lot easier to keep up with. Okay, so really I'm not sure what we're having for dinner. So we'll just have to play it by ear and see. Okay, I got some jokes of the day. Let's see. What should you do if you see a spaceman? You should park, man. It's like, what should you do if you see a space man? You should park, man. But spaceman's all one word at first, so it's okay. A well-dressed man approached a woman at a health food store and in a clipped British accent asked her exactly what she did with the tofu in her basket. She said she normally puts it in the refrigerator, looks at it for several weeks, and then throws it away. The man replied, "That's exactly what my wife does with it. I was hoping you had a better recipe." I've never had tofu. I know our daughter and Will, her husband, I believe, he's had it too. I know she's had it. And she, from what I remember, she said it was really pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if there's much flavor to it by itself. So I guess you season it or whatever, to make it taste like something, I guess. But I don't know if I'll ever try it, or not. It would probably be like this. I'd probably put it in the refrigerator. Well, I got it, and end up throwing it away. Okay, here's the thought of the day. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. That's from Oscar Wilde. Now let's see what we can. I saw a trivia. It was down here. Okay, here's one, I think. This one is: go back in time and test your knowledge of the 1940s with this trivia. Might be a tough one for me. We'll see. Play quiz. I mean, I know quite a bit about history. I don't know as much about maybe recent history as much as I should. What New Mexico town was the site of the famous UFO sighting in 1947? Santa Fe, Taos, Albuquerque, Roswell. Well, that is one thing I think everybody has probably heard about the UFO crash or whatever in Roswell, New Mexico. That's right. Roswell incident events surrounding the crash and recovery of a U.S. Army Air Force's high-altitude balloon in 1947 near Roswell, New Mexico, became the center of a conspiracy theory involving UFOs and extraterrestrials. Now, they're claiming, that there was like 3 of them that survived or something, but they were really hurt bad or something, and they took them to, like, Area 51 or something. I don't know. I have read and seen like documentaries on Roswell. Okay, what is Anne Frank famous for? A painting, a TV show, a diary, diary, I guess that's what it is, a song. Wasn't there a movie? I think there was a movie about this, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it was her diary. Yeah. Anne Frank was a German girl and Jewish victim of the Holocaust who was famous for keeping a diary of her experiences. Anne and her family went into hiding for 2 years to avoid Nazi persecution. Her documentation of this time is now published in the Diary of a Young Girl. During the first half of July 1942, Anne and her family went into hiding. Can you imagine that? It would be terrible. Which national memorial was completed in 1941? And it's showing something right here, some kind of memorial thing. In 1941, Mount Rushmore, Washington Monument, World War II Memorial, Lincoln Memorial. Well, I don't think that the World War II Memorial would be in 1941. Wasn't the war over a little bit after that, if I'm not mistaken? Or Mount Rushmore. That might be about right time frame. With the Washington Monument, I have no idea. Lincoln Memorial, I think might have been even later than that. I don't know. I could get this one wrong, but I'm going with Mount Rushmore. I got it. On October 31, 1941, Mount Rushmore National Memorial was declared a completed project. Gaining permission to carve a mountain, acquiring funding, and managing varied personalities were all a part of the challenge in creating Mount Rushmore National Memorial. And it keeps talking about it. In what country was Ferrari founded in 1947? Italy, Germany, France, United States. I think it's an Italian sports car. I don't know if France is really known for any type of sports car, really. Germany, of course, you got Mercedes and different things there. Volkswagen started there. I'm going to say Italy. Yep. The company's story officially began in 1947 when the first Ferrari emerged from the historic factory entrance on Via Abitone something. The 125S, as it was known, embodied the passion and determination of the company's founder. Enzo Ferrari was born in Modena on February 18, 1898, and died August 14, 1988. He devoted his entire life to designing and building sports cars. Okay, which of these was a popular dance style in the 40s? Salsa, swing, disco, twist. 40s. I don't. Of course, it wasn't disco. Not back then. Twist. That's like sounds like something like the 50s. Well, it's either salsa or swing. I'm gonna go with swing. Right. While original forms of swing dance date back to the 1920s with the Charleston, swing was the most popular dance in the 1940s. Its energetic moves and throws were iconic scenes in old films like the 1943 classic The Sky's the Limit featuring Fred Astaire. 5 right, none wrong so far. In what year did World War II end? Now, I was just talking about this, and I think I got it. 1938, 1945, 1958, 1968. Now, you remember what I was talking about a few minutes ago, and it said 1941, and I said, the war hadn't really ended right then. So I'm going to say 45. Right. World War II was a global war that lasted from 1939 to 1945. It involved the vast majority of the world's countries, including all of the great powers. More just general knowledge about it. Which of these sports leagues was founded in the 1940s? NHL, NFL, NBA, MLB. In the 40s. I don't know if football was really... It could have been the NFL by then. I think NHL, I don't know much about it. Major League Baseball, you'd think it would have been before that. I mean, baseball's been around a long time. NBA. I think it's either NBA or NFL. Gosh, that's a toss-up, really. I'm going to go with the NBA. Yay, that's the right one. I'm really lucky today. The game of basketball was officially invented in December of 1891 and became an Olympic sport by 1936. And it was a simple game that could be played indoors during the bad weather months and would challenge players and entertain spectators. So it didn't become the NBA, though, until the 40s. Okay. What is the name of the novel published by George Orwell in 1945? Animal Farm, Coming Up for Air, The Road to Wigan Pier, 1984. Now, I have heard something about this. I've read or either seen something in a documentary about this, but I still could be wrong. But I think it was like a futuristic novel or whatever, of 1984. No, it's not. Oh my goodness, it's Animal Farm. Okay. I wonder when 1984 was wrote then. 56% guessed 1984. That was the highest guess, the highest percentage. Animal Farm is an anti-utopian satire by George Orwell, published in 1945. One of Orwell's finest works, Animal Farm, is a political fable. See if it's going to say anything else. Then the pigs form a dictatorship even more oppressive and heartless than their former human masters. So the animals took over. They overthrow and chase off their exploitive human masters and set up a society of their own. Okay. I thought it was maybe that 1984, so I did miss one. Which of these popular films was released in the 1940s? Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Casablanca, Singing in the Rain, An Affair to Remember. 40s. I'm thinking Singing in the Rain might have been like in the 50s. That was that Fred Astaire in that? I'm not for sure. I've heard of An Affair to Remember, but I'm not really sure about that. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, I think that was in the 60s. Wasn't that Marilyn Monroe in that? Okay, so that makes me think Casablanca had Humphrey Bogart, I think, in it. So I'll go for that. Right. Partnering with Warner Brothers in 1926, Curtis created Angels with Dirty Faces, Yankee Doodle Dandy, and most significantly, Casablanca, the iconic 1942 film starring Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, and Peter Lorre, is an indelible American classic that remains one of the greatest romance tales of Western cinema. I got 8 right and 1 wrong. Which of these international organizations was established in 1945? Council of Europe, United Nations, World Health Organization, NATO. Okay, so this is right after the war. And I'm going to think it was such a mess. It's either United Nations or NATO. But I'm thinking if it was, everything was all messed up, I'm sure, right after the war. So I think the United Nations would have been for war crimes too. And I don't know if they did it, I don't know if they, judged people or anything like that. I'm just saying they had a lot to deal with. I'm going to go with United Nations. Right. The United Nations is an intergovernmental organization whose stated purposes are to maintain international peace and security, develop friendly relations among nations, achieve international cooperation, and be a center of harmonizing the actions of nations. So, everybody, I was 9 and 1. That one got me. But, that's pretty good. 9 and 1. For the 40s, I thought I knew a little bit about the 40s, but I had to guess at some of them too, as you noticed. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this morning coffee break. If you did, I hope you'll press that like button. Also subscribe if you haven't already, and share this out. And hit that so you get all my videos as soon as they come out. Okay, everybody, I hope you have a great day. And check out Logan's awesome snack reviews tonight. It'll be another great show. Bye, everybody, and God bless.